Previews for the Formula 1 2019 season continue. Just 9 days to go now. But today, we're talking about the big boys. It's Ferrari, the team that have been in Formula 1 since day one. The team with the biggest, the largest history, and a lot of change this year. You know, the last couple of seasons, they've been a little bit boring, a little bit dull, a little bit stale, you could say. This year, that is just... everything's just completely gone off the rails at Ferrari. They've gone all in for 2019. New team bosses, a new sexy car with some matte paintwork. Very nice, but the biggest one, a new driver pairing. Sebastian Vettel stays with the team, but you can see on the thumbnail there, Charles Leclerc, the boy wonder, some say. He is jumping into that Ferrari, still relatively inexperienced. We'll talk about him a little bit later on, but first, in these previews, we need a bit of a background check on the team. For the noobs of us all, you know, there's some people out there, you know, you want to know about Ferrari. And don't worry, I'm here to teach you. I'm here to preview this season Ferrari. Full team name, Scuderia Ferrari, base in Maranello, Italy. Team chief, Mattia Binotto gone is Maurizio Aruvabene. Over the past couple of years, he's not done a bad job at all, and he's really brought that team back to the front and almost back to greatness. But I emphasise the word there, almost back to greatness. He's out the door. In comes Mattia Binotto. A very different way, a very different style of leading and managing a team. And I think this could be happy days, happy smiles at Ferrari with this appointment. I think it works really well. Power unit, obviously a Ferrari. Yesterday we spoke about Renault being one of the 4 manufacturers and works teams on the grid. Ferrari are another one, obviously supplying Ferrari engines to themselves. Haas and Alfa Romeo, first team entry in 1950, 16 World Championships, 236 wins, 215 pole positions, and 247 fastest laps. A team that you don't want to mess around with. And as I mentioned, many people see this team as by far the team that is going to be going into Melbourne first and second pole positions, first and second in the race. People fully believe that. I'm still not convinced, but I definitely believe this team is going to be winning races and will definitely be up there in the championship. As mentioned a little bit earlier, new drivers at the team. Staying with the team for his 5th season now at Ferrari is Sebastian Vettel, second in the championship the last 2 seasons. Could have won it the last 2 seasons if things had gone his way. Last year, by far, did we not see the best Sebastian Vettel, and he will be wanting to bounce back this season. But gone is Kimi Räikkönen. Kimi Räikkönen, the man who won the last World Championship with Ferrari. He was there when they won their last Constructors' Championship. He's also the most recent Ferrari pole sitter and the most recent Ferrari race winner. He's gone. Räikkönen is out. He's jumping ship to Alfa Romeo, which I think is the right move for Ferrari. I also think it's the right move for Kimi himself. But in comes Charles Leclerc. And if you're wondering what that silly little flag, funny looking leg thing next to his head is, that's the Monaco flag. He is from Monaco, 1 season under his belt so far, but rookie of the year by a country mile last year, already looking like he's World Championship material. And it's very wishy-washy how people feel generally about Charles Leclerc. My personal feelings, I think this guy's the real deal, and I do think he can take it straight away to Sebastian Vettel. The team have been very open and they've said, you know what, we could say Sebastian's going to be number 1, Leclerc's going to be number 2, but we're going to leave it open for the first few races, and that's exactly what they should do. Because, let's be honest, you can't control a qualifying, and if Leclerc's constantly beating Vettel in a qualifying, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but if he is, then you can't every race let Sebastian go in front. So it's sensible that they take a few races just to sort things out. But let's go through the individual drivers, starting with the 4 times world champion Sebastian Vettel. The German driver's had 111 podiums. Bear in mind, Leclerc's just had 21 races, so you can see the completely different ends of the spectrum, these two drivers, in terms of experience. 2,745 points for Sebastian Vettel, 220 races completed, which means just about 200 races more than Charles Leclerc, and I think that experience will help him tenfold this season. Highest race finished, 52 wins for Sebastian Vettel, 55 pole positions, so more poles than race wins. That's usually a rare statistic. You don't see that one too often. Born in 1987, one of the older drivers on the grid, hailing from Germany. What do I think Vettel needs to do this year? Well, within the team, he needs to win. He needs to win the team battle to keep the respects of the team, because if Leclerc comes in with his lack of experience, even though he's quick, but if Leclerc comes in and destroys, or not necessarily destroys, but comfortably beats Vettel, will Vettel want to stay? Back in 2014, when he was at Red Bull, Daniel Ricciardo came to Red Bull. Ricciardo beat him, and Vettel jumped ship. Will he do the same? That's the big question mark this year. So target number one, I feel, for Vettel is to silence the haters, silence the doubters, and beat Leclerc. But apart from that, he will be gunning for that championship, and he would love to wipe the smile off Lewis Hamilton's face and stop him getting a sixth and get Sebastian Vettel a fifth world title. On the opposite side of the garage, Charles Leclerc, what is he aiming for this year? Well, let's just go through his mini file. He had no podiums, 39 points in an Alfa Romeo Sauber car last year, which was definitely not a great car at the beginning of the season. Just 21 races entered, that was last season. No World Championships, pretty obviously. Highest race finish of 6th place. I definitely think he'll be changing that in the first race of the season. His highest grid position is 7th. I also think he'll be beating that in the first race of the season. Date of birth 1997, so he is older than me. There are drivers on the grid this year which are younger than me, which, yes, I'm finding that a little bit strange to deal with. But as mentioned earlier, he is from Monaco. And when drivers say their home race is Monaco, this guy's home race actually is Monaco. So what is he looking for this year? I think it's different to Vettel, because I think he's got pressure on him, Leclerc, but I think if he doesn't beat Vettel, I don't think people will mind too much. I think in his first season, he just needs to look for his first race win. He needs to be winning races, because that car is going to be able to win races. So if he's not winning races, I think question marks will be asked of him. But I think as long as he stays within touching distance of Vettel, if he can beat him, brilliant. But I think the target will be 3rd in the championship. Looking to beat Bottas, looking to beat potentially the 2 Red Bulls if they're not quite up to par. But I don't think they'll be aiming for Leclerc to be beating Vettel or Hamilton. That being said, I think he can do it. I think he's got the talent, I think he's got the pace to be able to do it. So, who's going to win? Who do I think in the head-to-head battle is going to win? If I was going to put money on it, I'd have to go Leclerc. I really do. And the big factor for me isn't the experience, something I've spoken in length about today. I think that's going to help Vettel. But already, if Vettel had stayed with Raikkonen at Ferrari, there would have been pressure on Vettel this year. It's his 3rd chance at a driver's title with Ferrari. The last 2 years, he's thrown it away. Last year in particular, Vettel did throw it away. It wasn't mechanical issues that cost him the championship. It was his own driving skills. So, I think there's going to be even more pressure on him this year. On the other side of the garage, the hungry Charles Leclerc, I don't think has any pressure on his shoulders. And I think that's just going to see him through. But this being said, this is going to be close. I do see there being some sort of fallout within the team, which I'm really looking forward to seeing the drama that goes on there. But for me, Leclerc just edges it. Just about. But again, like I said yesterday, I don't see this being a runaway from Leclerc or Vettel. It doesn't matter, either one of them wins. I think they're both going to be very, very close in the standings. And as I said yesterday with the 2 Renault boys, one result could change this. One DNF for Vettel, one DNF for Leclerc, especially early on as well. Because if they do eventually, I don't know, say Hamilton's really putting up a good fight against the 2 Ferrari boys, they might have to pick just one guy to take that championship. So that will obviously have some sort of effect on strategies they put people on. So I think Leclerc just edges it, but what he's going to have to do is get in front early. And I think people have spoken about Esteban Ocon. He's got to make himself known, Charles Leclerc. Ocon didn't really put himself in a position where Mercedes, Racing Point had to keep him. I think Leclerc's got to do that. He's got to prove he deserves a chance there. He's got to prove that he is World Championship material. I don't think it'll take too much of effort from Leclerc to do that, but that's what he's got to do, especially early doors. But as always, I'd love to know what you think of Ferrari. Where are they going to finish in the championship? Is it going to be a complete runaway championship like everyone's expecting? I think it's going to be close with Mercedes, but it's anyone's guess. It really is anyone's guess. A flip of the coin and you still wouldn't know. You really wouldn't. So, Ferrari. Who's going to win the head-to-head battle? Will they come on top in the Constructors' Championship? Random order every single day. I'm not telling you what's coming next, but tomorrow's is an interesting one. So keep your eye out every single day until the season starts for a race preview. Well, race preview? A team preview for 2019. It's almost here, 9 days away. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.